Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Inheritor, and we are doing some replay analysis for coaching on my Discord server. Discord link should be down in the description below. If you are interested in some free coaching, there is no cost, there's no catch, there's no nothing. If you want help and you're under the rank of GC, feel free to hop in my server and use it as much as you need. So we're doing a replay analysis for TxJBoyd. This is Champ 3 rank for doubles. And yeah, we're just going to get right on into it. Things to note regarding my replay analysis is that I'm doing this based off of how I would play my game. I'm not a pro. I am not perfect. This is just how I would play it. It's potential for you to think about, or it's possibilities for you to think about in ways you could possibly change your game to make your plays a little better, even if it's not perfect. So right off the bat, first things I notice, not necessarily a bad idea to go for this. However, you did not look around to see where your teammate was right off the play here. Okay. Dang it. It's been a hot minute since I used the replay. Alright. So your teammate was back, so not the worst worst choice there. It's just you didn't look back to see where your teammate was. To see if they had a better angle for the ball. Your teammate's going back here. You should have already turned for this to try and at least get them to throw the ball away. Because your teammate is going for that back corner boost, which you're right in front of. So, that being said, as long as they position themselves accordingly, they should be sitting back while you're going for the ball. Which is kind of what you did. It's just a little slower than what I would have done. However, you still did what I was saying. They threw the ball away. Teammate played that a little slow. Not bad to turn on that. Should have turned off ball cam there. Tried to control the ball a little better. Because right here you can see what you're doing, you can see where the opponent is. However, this right here blocks off where the teammate is, or the opponent is, even though you can still see their name tag. Without ball cam, you can't precisely tell where you are in regards of what you can do with the ball, given the situation. And that tiny little touch there kind of messed it up. I probably would have taken it to the far left corner, tried to pass it off the wall. Good save by your teammate there. Smart to sit back. This was okay. You just played it a little slow. Something to be considerate of is the fact that your teammate pushed that. And realistically, given this situation, I personally probably would have tried to fly off the wall for it. Or not off the wall, from the goal line or whatever. I would have tried to fly for it. Personally, I'm pretty decent about reads off the wall though, so it really just depends. If you're gonna go off the wall for it, you gotta be a little faster. And the fact that your teammate was pretty much out of the play in that situation, it was really critical that you got that touch. That small hesitation right there, just that decided whether you were going for the ball or not. Right here. You see how you paused for just a half a second. You could hear even in the engine you let off the gas for just a split second. That split second is what you needed to hit that ball. Not sure what your teammate was doing there, but ultimately the play could have gone better if you didn't hesitate in that situation. In this situation, you probably should have held down power slide to get to that turn faster. And that small touch right here, instead of... You could have made it a little better on yourself if you... In this situation, without the power slide, the extra power slide to turn your car faster, you could have just kept driving straight up the wall and tried to turn around, and you probably still could have beat there, but you put yourself in a bad spot. Made it awkward for yourself. I definitely would not have flown for that, especially since things that I look for when I'm playing my game is specifically who is closest to the ball and where my teammate is. That's going to determine what I'm doing. So right here, first things I saw in the replay right now is that the opponent got the boost. Your teammate is out of boost, he's on their side of the field, and completely out of the play for a long period of time. Your best option here was to play it safe, which right now you have an open net, and yeah, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is you should have just played it safer. I probably would have, as soon as I saw them take it up the wall, turned back around and started slowly driving towards my net and waited it out to see what they did with the ball. Obviously, it didn't end up a goal in that particular case, but it was still really risky for you to challenge that. Smart to play it safe, however, you just... This one's kind of hard. Your turnaround here is kind of what messed you up, if that makes any sense. Then you put yourself in a position to protect, however, you didn't predict what they were going to do. And you waited until they did something before you reacted, which was just ultimately too slow. It was obvious at this point they were probably going to flick it because it's way too far on the back end of their car. And even if you did jump and they tried to stop their car and let it roll under you, you would have been able to make sure you jumped low enough to like backflip and hit the ball at least, even if it didn't end up in the best situation for where the ball goes. Still could have ended up potentially better. Smart not to fly for that. Could have ended up worse. Everyone misses. Could have taken more time. The opponent was out of the play. Your opponent right in front of net was in a bad position, especially since they had to recover. So right here, you had all the time in the world to place yourself to try and get it to the upper, or even just generally to their left side. Anywhere to their left would have been a goal. And the reason I say you could have taken more time is because, like I said, right here they're recovering, and the other opponent is going for their corner boost. So basically everything to the left of the net was open. But you rushed your shot and hit it right into them instead. Again, you should focus on trying to look around a bit more. You having your ball cam off, or you not looking around, resulted in you not knowing where your opponents were, and just generally going for that boost and going up the wall resulted in a passing play, more or less, even though it was in either way, I think. Hard to tell from that angle. So, biggest thing so far is try not to rush your shots, but at the same time, don't hesitate. It's difficult to differentiate the two, but you don't want to base your plays off of trying to get a 50 all the time. And then the other thing is looking around more. You gotta know where people are to be able to make appropriate plays. Not a bad challenge there. Could have been a little better, but hard to read those. I get it. Probably should have either faked it or gone to the other side, it was pretty predictable that they were going to jump for that. As they predicted you to flick, or try and flip into the ball. Good for you going there. However, I don't know why your teammate's going for that. Put you in a really bad position, especially since you have no boost. Not the best idea to leave your teammate in a 2v1 there. Also, not worth using all your boost to go for a demo there. That wouldn't have resulted in anything to make a better play. Good job trying to control it. Still should have turned off ball cam because you don't know where anyone is or what anything that's happened. It still worked out in your favor, but utilize turning off your ball cam more often. More often than just going for boost. Not a bad idea to play it safe there. Once again, you didn't look to see where your teammate was to see if they had a better play or not. A lot of what I'm saying here is just making sure you're looking around and seeing what's going on around you more so than just beelining it for the ball. It was good positioning. Your teammate jumped for that. You didn't really need to follow that, but it was smart. It was good of them to be able to quickly recover. Played that slow, you hesitated going up the wall. Even if you were limited boost, you still should have had that beat by a mile. This whole time, you could have already been on the wall and hitting it, and they would have been the ones flying randomly. Teammate has no boost, and they missed the boost, or at least they're low boost. Decent read. I was worried you were going to miss that, so you did react a little bit slow to it. Smart turn there. I am so glad you didn't keep going for that mid boost. That was really close. Way closer than what it should have been. It's almost like you froze. Like deer in the headlights froze. Two things you could have done here is either half flipped or even just power slid to turn around. Another instance right there where you are using only ball cam. You don't know where anyone is. So you can't really make a better play without knowing what's going on around you. Wasn't a bad touch. People miss. I'm not really going to make much of a comment on that. There's been several times I've personally missed the ball just because I either didn't have enough boost or I went up for it too slow. This right here, you once again beelined for the ball, and instead of predicting the play, you just were going for the ball. So if they had made that even just a little to the left a little bit more, it would have been a goal on you. So make sure you're trying to predict what the opponents are going to do, but be careful with that because that'll make you easily faked or just beat because that'll consider you as challenging early all the time, or they just good high ranked GCs will change up their games, the way they play their game a lot. So one play or two plays in a row, they'll fake the ball or fake a ball to score. But then this was a really bad fly. We'll come back to that. But, you know, high-ranked GCs will fake a ball or two for the entire game. They won't do it all the time, but it's because they need to change up their gameplay to avoid being able to be predicted. So if you're going for like a ground to air dribble, for instance, and you make it convincing, like you actually take it up in the air a bit, but not enough to where they're going to try and race up to the ball to challenge you, you can easily slip it underneath them. Granted, there's probably someone behind you have to deal with, but that's one person out of the play, and that's what counts. But anyway, this is a bad fly, especially since you don't seem to have a super fast aerial. In fact, you're not fast aerialing at all. You're just double jump aerialing. Being that close to the play, you are risking a lot, especially going for that. Good news is your teammate recovered. Instead of twirling in the air, I personally would have pointed my card down, boosted, and grabbed boost and started rotating. You didn't look to see where your teammate was. Your teammate was in a position to challenge that. You should have gone back. But you beeline for the ball. I understand you're thinking, oh, my teammate's demoed, they're probably out of the play. You need to look around more. You're hovering way too close to your teammate right now. Thank you, you're moving away. That's good. That tells me you at least realized you were probably too close. Had no boost, I don't blame you for challenging. However, you are playing it really slow. I would have been picking up pads at least. So, ultimately, you having no boost and going for a challenge in a corner that your teammate is in their net was really what killed it. And another thing is you didn't predict where your teammate was going to go for it, because right here, it's easy to see where they're coming from. You would have had to hard cut this to get it to even pinch to the corner, in which case it still would have pinched out towards mid and your teammate's still out of the play. So ultimately, no matter what challenge you did, unless it was a stalemate challenge where it's just sits dead in front of both of you and you get a second 50, there wasn't really much of a chance your teammate was going to recover for that. So, biggest things that I see in your gameplay, at least for this, even though I do understand that you had lag problems and were drinking according to your notes, biggest things I saw is that, one, you don't look around for anyone at all. I mean, not once did you look to see where your teammate was, if they were behind you. You cut them off once even, or twice, I don't know for sure, but I know towards the end of the game when they got demoed, you for sure cut them off because you didn't look around. You're not predicting your play. You're not predicting anything in the play. You're just going based off of where the ball is, and that's it. You gotta take into consideration where the ball is on the opponent's car, what possibilities they have, where the opponent's teammate is, or the opponent that has the ball where their teammate is. So if there's a potential passing play that could happen, you got to take that into consideration. And then try to make your decisions a little bit faster. For instance, that first or second goal, I don't remember which one in particular, but you hesitated to go up the wall to get it clear, and ultimately that was the reasoning behind that goal. The last thing is to make sure that you are positioning yourself away from your teammate. You don't want to be behind your teammate in a straight line, first of all. I saw that a couple times. And then the other thing is you don't want to be in the same quote-unquote quadrant. So when you're looking at the field, the like the center circle right here where you are right now is like the center of the 4 quadrants. And if you take those white lines that extend out from that center point, that's your 4 quadrants. So you got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, and 4. For instance, it could be any particular instance, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. But it's just my point. You won't want to be in the same quadrant as your teammate at any given time, if possible. If your teammate goes for a challenge and they miss and they're trying to rotate around, because realistically you should never be rotating the way the ball is going. You should be on the opposite side. But certain situations it makes it a different story. However, 9 times out of 10, if you are on the offense, you do not want to be. If your teammate's here, you don't want to be here, because 9 times out of 10, they're either going to hit it out along the wall, which you can't go for, or they're going to hit it out towards mid, which if you're on either this quadrant or even in the middle, is something you could make a play out of potentially, depending on where the ball is and where the opponents are. So those are really my main points to have you look at. If you have any questions, you can use the hashtag General Coach chat room and ask me to clarify on certain situations or anything else, any other general questions you have. But that's going to be it. TxJBoyd. I hope this helps you. And like I said, if you have any other further questions, please feel free to let me know. And yeah, good luck with your games. Catch you next time. Deuces.